The word halal is often heard mostly around food. What is halal, what is not. But originally, halal was never only about what is eaten. It simply meant that which is lawful, that which is clean, that which does not harm. It applied to life as whole, not just the plate. Food is important. What enters the body matters. There are ways of preparing food that are considered careful, intentional, and respectful to life. For many, this is what halal means. But is that all it means? Because if only the method is followed, while the mind remains in conflict, in dishonesty, in division, has something been missed? This is not to deny what is done outwardly, but to ask, does what is clean outside also reflects what is happening inside? If food is called halal, but actions are not looked at, something becomes incomplete. Is deception halal? Is lying halal? Is placing oneself above others halal? Is creating division halal? Is benefiting while another is overlooked halal? Is cheating halal? Cheating a partner, cheating a parent, cheating a neighbor, cheating in a business. If these exist, what does halal really means? And if another is not living this way, is it halal to force, to argue, to attack, or to live with such honesty and care that it speaks without words? This is not a judgment, it is a question. Because if halal means that which is lawful and pure, then it cannot stop at food. It must include how life is lived. The early teachings in Quran did not separate life this way. What is lawful was connected to honesty, fairness, responsibility, awareness. So something simple can be asked: if the food is correct but the living is not, is that truly halal? Not as an accusation, but as a reflection. Sometimes the focus becomes very narrow. Checking labels, checking sources, checking methods, but not checking the mind. Not checking intention, not checking behavior. And so a strange thing can happen. One part of life is called pure, another part is ignored. But life does not divide itself like that. To live in alignment means the whole movement is seen, not one part. If there is awareness, then it flows into everything, into speech, into relationship, into action. Then halal is not something followed, it is something lived. And where there is awareness, there is naturally less harm, less deception, less division. So the question is not, is this food halal only? The question becomes, is this life being lived in a way that is truthful, that is clean, that does not harm? Not only physically, but harming someone mentally. Because if not, then the word is being used but not completely understood. This is not against anyone, not against practice, not against traditional. It is simply a clearing, a word that was given to point towards a way of living, not just a way of eating. And when that is seen clearly, something changes quietly. Attention begins to move inward, not to judge, not to control, but to see. To see actions as they happen, to see intentions as they form inward. When there is a movement of dishonesty, of self interest, of distortion, it does not stay hidden. It is seen, not later, not through analysis, but in the moment it appears, because attention is now inward, watching every step that you take. And in that seeing, there is no need to force correction. What is not clean cannot continue in the light of it. So living begins to change, not by effort, but because false movement is no longer unnoticed, then halal is no longer partial, not just in what is eaten, but in how one lives, acts, and relates. And then the word halal no longer needs to be defended because it is no longer just spoken, it is lived. When you're attending to yourself, your thoughts you are looking at directly, are they harming anyone? Are they harming my child? Are they harming my parent? What is the intention? Then you are looking inward. And if your thoughts are not lawful, honest, then they are seen. And when they are seen, they cannot just stay that way. Because now honesty is seeing it. And in the light of honesty, dishonesty cannot remain. The darkness cannot remain where there is light, and that light is your own honesty, your own looking of your own thoughts, your own intentions, how you feel about others, how you think about others, and then life is lived completely, honestly, without an effort, without a approval or to prove, because everything is done from that clarity. Just like you do things for yourself, you don't want any less for any other being, because life itself is respecting life. When the intention turns inward towards your own actions,